going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Well, welcome if it's your first time here. No doubt you have heard about red flag laws. It seems like that everyone on both sides of the political spectrum, the Republicans and the Democrats, which are really both the same, just an act to make you believe that they're different, that you have a choice. But anyway, both seem to always support red flag laws, and they will lay it out and explain what red flag laws is, how it will protect you and your children, blah 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 blah, and it's all complete nonsense. The Republicans and the Democrats both support this nonsense of red flag laws. You know, take the guns without due process, without a crime ever being committed. Just take the guns because you suspect, or someone else suspects or assumes that you're going to commit a crime, or that you're going to commit a terrorist act or something like that. So take the guns without due process. Even Donald Trump was all for these red flag laws, and I'll post a video right now so you know I'm not fibbing, because every time I say something like that, people say you're just making it up. No, we didn't, not fact, blah 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 blah, when it actually is. Donald Trump supported red flag laws.
We have to act. We can't wait and play games and nothing gets done.
President Trump stunned lawmakers on both sides of the aisle Wednesday with his overarching demands for gun control.
Like, take the firearms first and then go to court.
After Vice President Mike Pence suggested court procedures for removing guns from dangerous people, Trump caught him and many in the room off guard by seeming to dismiss due process.
I like taking the guns early, so you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
President Trump also reiterated his support for raising the age limit to purchase some weapons.
It doesn't make sense that I have to wait till I'm 21 to get a handgun, but I can get this weapon at 18. I don't know. So I was just curious as to what you did in your bill. You don't address
we didn't address it, Mr. President. Look, I think
you know why? Because you're afraid of the NRA, right?
And right now, our pathetic rhino Republican governor here in Tennessee is pushing hard for red flag laws and actually other gun laws and gun bans. He is showing his true colors because bugs, cow fly, what it is actually, trying to bite me on my arm. Anyway, where was I at? Oh yeah, Bill Lee, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, he's been pushing for these red flag laws here in Tennessee really strongly over the last few months, and people will say you need to contact Bill Lee to let him know that you don't want these red flag laws, you're not interested in these red flag laws. That's unconstitutional. But the thing is, Bill Lee is on his last term here in Tennessee. He doesn't care what we think. He doesn't care about our votes. He is in his second term, his last term here in Tennessee, so he's going out of office regardless. So he don't care, you know, what the people want, what the people think. So he's showing his true colors. If you look at all these so-called conservatives, all these so-called Republicans, there's very small difference between them and the so-called left and right. It's pretty much all the same. When it comes to the big issues, they all support each other. They all support the same issues, like big pharma and war. Both sides are big supporters of both because they have financial investments in both. But you know, like I said, the red flag laws here in Tennessee, and they're wanting these everywhere. Like I said, Donald Trump was for these, most Republicans are for this, and it's really nonsense because, you know, we already have all states, as far as I know, we do in Tennessee for sure, and I think all states do, laws against threatening, terroristic threatening. In fact, here is the law here in Tennessee. And this is Michael J. Thompson, attorney at law. 5 elements must be present to constitute a terrorist threat, including a willful threat to commit a dangerous crime causing serious bodily injury or death is made via any medium. It means you make any kind of threat to anyone about causing bodily harm, death, It's a crime in Tennessee. It's terroristic threatening. This threat is specifically intended to be interpreted as a threat. It is not necessary for a defendant to intend to follow through or even have the opportunity and means to do so. So even if you don't mean it, and if you can't do it, if you make that threat, that's considered terroristic threatening in the state of Tennessee, and it's a crime. And they can come and take you to jail and take your firearms. So there's no need for red flag laws. There's already laws on the books about terroristic threatening. So if you have someone threatening a school, going online, threatening this gender or this ideology or this place or this person, it's already a crime. There's no need for red flag laws. All that is an excuse to give the powers that be more power to take your Second Amendment rights. But I digress. Threats must cause fear in the victim. Threats must be unequivocal, unconditional, and specific, conveying gravity of purpose and the immediate prospect of execution. Threats must cause fear in a victim. The victim's fear has to be reasonable. But it says up here, if you make any threats, this threat is specifically intended to be interpreted as a threat. It is not necessary for a defendant to intend to follow through or even have the opportunity or means to do so. So like I said, if someone threatens, someone here threatens to attack somewhere with a nuclear bomb, they have no means to actually doing that. That would still be considered, a terroristic threat. Even though they have no actual intention of doing it and no ability to do that, that could still constitute, a crime. It says residents may be quite surprised to learn that a person does not actually have to do anything to be charged with making a terroristic threat, nor does he or she have to have the means to carry out a threat. To be charged with terrorism, all one has to do in Tennessee is make a threat. One Tennessee man, frustrated over the restrictions in place in a child custody case, made statements in anger that he intended to return to the child's school with an AK-47 and kill staff members in 2013. He was subsequently arrested, convicted of attempted terrorism, and given 16 years in state prison. So there's no need for red flag laws. We already have laws in the books that if someone is threatening violence, threatening harm, they can be arrested and sent to prison for 16 years. Here in Tennessee, and it's the same way in pretty much every state, as far as I'm aware. So these red flag laws are a result of the we have to do something crowd. Plus, it gives these politicians in power, the local governments, the state governments, the federal governments, power to take away your Second Amendment rights, take away your guns without due process for any reason that they deem necessary. So in reality, these red flag laws that these politicians, including Bill Lee here in Tennessee, are pushing is just backdoor gun confiscation. Anyway, that's my take on this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like the shirt, I'll put a link in the description box below and the first pinned comment. You can get your own. Thanks for watching. And Creekmore, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully.